$5 Tito's Martinis, and free parking at Gatsby's Cocktail Lounge at Resorts World.
What is happening, everybody? Happy New Year in advance. Good to be back on the radio. Good to be here today. Oh, Big D, you can't be on the fence with Mendoza. All you guys wanted to lose. Don't tell me you're on the fence now. I can't take that. Okay, you all wanted to lose. Don't tell me you're on the fence. Figure out your quarterback. Don't give me any of that BS. You're not sure about the player after all this. Don't give me any of that. All right, that's the one thing I don't want to hear. Y'all wanted to lose. Y'all want the first pick. Y'all want this. Y'all want flowers and roses and new cars and beautiful new saviors to the franchise. Don't be confused on that. You wanted that. You better have your guy by April. I ain't wasting a lot of time on that because my point exactly. You're all confused. You don't know who you want. You don't understand who you want. You're not there yet. You haven't even watched Mendoza play. You haven't even watched him play. You're going to watch him play a bunch here in the next couple of weeks. And then after watching him play, you can judge Mendoza. But don't tell me you watched him play because you didn't. Okay? So you want the number one pick? You got it. Looks like you got it. That's what you wanted. We'll see what happens next. Thank you. Yes, lighting the torch was fabulous. It's the high mark of my career. That was, without a doubt, the number one bucket list event of my life. A lot of cool things, other than the birth of my kids, obviously, and my wedding. I've emceed events on the field in front of 60,000. I've done some cool stuff at the Hall of Fame. Nothing compared to lighting the torch yesterday. Thank you. All the positives that came out of that were very, very nice. Everybody who was at the torch, who was actually there for it. I couldn't believe the crowd for that around the torch. So that was really cool. And yes, I'll open up with my mom. For those who are aware, my mom fell seriously ill, and I had to leave for a while because I wanted to be with her, and she's improving. That's about it on that. And thank you for that. And we got a really short week, so I'm going to have to do some streaming from home. We're on today and tomorrow, Clay reminds me. We are off Wednesday for the Las Vegas Bowl. The Las Vegas Bowl, which is a really good game. That is going to be Nebraska going up against Utah, Kyle Willingham's last game. Then we're off, obviously, New Year's Day and the day after. That's Lotus holidays here, and then we're back on Monday. And obviously I'll be on the radio live for the pre and post game for the Raiders. All right, let's do this.
Yeah, Carroll, I guess. It's the JT the Brick Show. You know, we're going to have a lot of positive energy. The guys, you're building just 25 years.
This is my job. Tremendously easy to be out here with these young, talented players, man. I think we have a really good team. So I'm super excited. I'm already loving this fan base. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
And here's JT.
Out of the gate, JT, as we open it up, let me get everybody dialed in as I'm putting the audio together. Yes, I got the great Clay Baker with me. We got a lot going on today. So we got a very busy show as we are rolling out of the gate, and we will do that right there. Yes, JT back, and good to be here with everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Wow, we got a lot to get to. We got a very short week, as I was telling everybody that's here in the chat. Everybody who is following us on YouTube, couple of quick announcements. We got some giveaways coming up. We got a new format in 2026, and you can watch the show live today on Facebook at JT The Brick, on X at JT The Brick, and on YouTube at JT The Brick YT. As I'd like everybody, if you can please do me a favor, I do not ask for any Christmas gifts. I do not ask for anything. I need to get these numbers up. Subscribe. Let's get a big push on what we're trying to do with this live stream here, because we've done a lot on this live stream here, and we're excited about it, and it gives you a different aspect to the show. So thanks a lot. I got a lot to get to today, all right? And I want to go fast because we have a short week. The Las Vegas Bowl will be in place of us on Wednesday. I wasn't aware of that. I think I was, but I wasn't aware of it until Clay reminded me. So we're off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Thursday, we're obviously off for the holiday, which is New Year's Day. And then Lotus has us off the next day, which is very nice of them. So we got a short week. I got 2 shows to do this week, but I'll probably do some streaming. At some point from home or do something, year in review, whatever that's going to be. So we'll see what happens. And obviously I'll be hosting the pregame show from the Torch for the Kansas City game. So today's show is like it's been all year long. The aftermath of the loss to the New York Giants and what happened on Sunday and your reaction to it. We're looking for your specific reaction to daily topics. It really is the essence of my radio career. I think we're the best of the best at building topics. We do keep it simple, and we'll do deep dives whenever we have to. But I play the hits, and the hits are not good this year. They're the kind of the worst hits. Every time I come on the radio after a Raider game, they lose. Every time. And it was like that last year, 10 in a row with Antonio Pierce. And now it's arguably worse. It's actually worse, which is shocking to me because I don't think anybody from the greatest Raider haters outside the organization, Denver, the Chargers, whoever they are, and some of the people within the Raider Nation who gravitate to negativity and want to be clowns and want to make this out to be a joke, even they didn't think this would be a 2-win team. So believe me, how amazing is that no one saw this coming? Even if you thought the Raiders were going to stink this year, you probably had them at 4 or 5 wins, maybe even 6, but you didn't have it this year. And that's the focus of the monologue brought to you by Golden Entertainment. PTs, they fuel the monologue, 5 to 7, midnight to 2, the best happy hour in town. Thanks to my founding partner on this show, Golden Entertainment and PTs, as they get us going every day on the show. So Monday, it's the same show that I do typically. I was off last Monday. So for those who know, I'm not going to get into details. My mom fell very ill very quickly out of the blue. My mom's 86 years old, and she fell ill, and I got on a plane and flew back east to be by her bedside. And I want to thank everyone here at Lotus, especially my bosses here, all my bosses at the Raiders, my bosses at SiriusXM. You know you work for great people when everybody says, go. We got you. Don't worry about it. Just get on a plane and go. And I was able to do that, and I was able to be with my mom and dad and my sisters to get through a very difficult time, completely unexpected. And now I'm back home. I got home on Christmas Eve. My mom's doing much better. Thank you for those who asked along the way. So we're good for the time there. And that was really emotional. It took a lot out of me. My mom's 86. She's my life, along with my dad. You know, when you have something like this happen, just very lucky to have parents, right, in their mid to late 80s. How lucky am I? And then on top of that, you know, the ability and the resources to get there quickly. So thanks to everyone who said go. You know you're around good people in your life. 99.2% of the people in my life are unbelievable people. I'm blessed to have an unbelievable family, great friends, and then people that I acknowledge as friends kind of from the radio or TV, whatever we do. So I always appreciate that support. And right around that time, I got a call from the owner of the Raiders, Mark Davis, that I was chosen to light the torch in memory of Al Davis. And that was an emotional phone call, as you can imagine. Very emotional phone call. And Mark didn't know what happened to my mom, nor was I going to bring it up. But that was happening, and the Raiders had that plan for me to light the torch in December, and that was the game. So I was very proud of that accomplishment, and obviously it meant everything to my family. My cousin and my nephew came into town. One of my best friends came into town for it with their kids, my godson. And yeah, there, if you're looking right there on YouTube, that's me lighting the torch in memory of Al Davis, which was mind-blowing. So I'll get into that a little bit later on in the show. We got some audio of it. When you stand on that stage where the band plays, the house band plays, you don't realize that. It's like being Clay on a high diving board, where you're on a high dive, you know, the high dive, and if you walk out to the edge of it and you look down and you're like, whoa, that's what this was like. And I thought they played a nice video of my career, and I thought they were going to show the video and not me until the end where I lit the torch. No, they had that camera that goes up from the field all the way up in front of me, and it was wild. And a fun little story there. As I was about to light the torch, about 10 minutes before, Phil Villapiano was there. And I said, Phil, you're coming with me. You just come with my family. They were right behind. And Phil and Janie, who's Phil's wife, came with me. So I had Phil Villapiano with me there because I didn't have George Atkinson or Freddie B. It was like my second dad with me. So it was nice to have Phil there. And Phil lit the torch in the past. And he's like, you're going to do great. And EA was really supportive. And then lighting the torch was really cool. It was the highest accomplishment of my career with the Raiders. Very humbling and much gratitude for everyone involved, especially Mark Davis, the Davis family, everyone behind the scenes at Silver and Black Productions. They gave us a beautiful gift box, field passes for my wife and kids and my cousins and friends. And we were down on the field and they escorted them up. It was just really spectacular that I had that experience, which I never expected. And I thank everyone. It was a very important moment in my life and a lot of gratitude for all that. Okay, after that, let's get to the game. The game was an unmitigated disaster again. Cannot believe it. Now, a lot of people were wondering, Clay, oh my God, JT the Brick, former Giant fan. Yes, I don't apologize, but I didn't grow up in Oakland. I grew up in New York. But obviously with the Raiders, my allegiance is to the Raiders. People still wonder about that. It's amazing. 28 years. I'm sorry I got a paycheck for 28 years. I apologize.
You know, fans remember
Yeah,
things.
I didn't do it for free. I did get paid to do all this work. But, you know, it was interesting that a lot of people like, you're lighting the torch for the Giants. And then some of my buddies were laughing. They're like, oh, boy. If the Raiders beat the Giants, the heat I would have took today would have been more than the normal heat that I could take from time to time. So I didn't know what was going to happen in the game. Neither did you. We thought that both teams, their goal wasn't to win the game. But I talked to a number of people around the Raider organization that want to win. You know who they are, including the owner, because part of this deal about lighting the torch is my wife was able to sit with the owner, which was really cool. And he wanted to win really bad. And everybody wants to win who's involved in wearing the colors on game day. But we know what you think, and you want the number one pick. And now you got it. Now you got it. Hey, Raider Nation, you got the number one pick. A lot of used guys wanted the number one pick. You got it. It's not guaranteed you're going to keep it. You got the Chiefs coming to town. And I got to ramp up my Chiefs coverage because we only have a couple of days here. So this is what you wanted. All the comedians, all the improvisers, all the, influencers, all the comedy guys, y'all wanted this, you got it. This is what you wanted, you got it. I'm going to get out of your way. I'm going to let it out of your way and you run. Okay? I'm not the headliner at the Chuckle Hut. If you want to go down this road and you want the number one pick and you got a bit and you're gaining followers and subscribers and you love it, hallelujah. I want everybody to do well. I just told you I got gratitude. I lit the torch. Kind of like a drop the mic thing for me. So I'm good. That was pretty cool. But when it comes to what the team's going to do going forward, we got another week. We got another week to find out if they keep the number one pick or for whatever way they lose the number one pick by winning and beating Kansas City. But back to the Giants. So both my sons are on the sideline during warmups. And it was like a Seahawk love fest. There's Russell Wilson. There's Tyler Lockett. Everybody's like hugging each other. And Russell Wilson's throwing bombs. And one of my sons says to me, he goes, Dad, you were right, man. We should have got Russell Wilson for $1 million. $1 million 2 years. He was throwing daisy cutters, 60 yards in warmups, hugging Pete Carroll like he was locked in. And Jackson Dart was locked in. So then the game starts. And Gino throws another interception. He throws it to the other team. Oh, boy. I mean, the Raiders, Gino's not throwing interceptions on purpose. You know that. Gino really wants to play well because he's going to need another job. I don't think Gino will be back, nor do I believe Gino deserves to be back, but he might be back as the bridge quarterback for Mendoza, who forever the Raiders get. We all know that. We're not sitting here telling you Gino has played his last game with the Raiders. Why would I say that? But I think he's played his last game most likely, and his most likely last game this year because he's got a high ankle sprain. But he ended up throwing that interception, and it was brutal. And then he threw another one, and the Raiders gave up a kickoff return, and they tackled poorly, and they couldn't run the ball, and they couldn't stop the run. They have the worst special teams in all of football. Yep. Oh, my God, the Giants came in, considered a worse team I didn't think they were a worse team. I thought they were better than the Raiders this year because they played in a lot closer games all year long. Remember, Denver needed 32 against them to come back and win in the fourth quarter. They had Dallas beating Dallas. I knew they were a pretty good team, better than the Raiders now. But the Giants came in with no interest in the number 1 pick and kicked the Raiders' ass up and down the field. That was a bit of a surprise. Because a lot of the wise asses that I was talking to were like, what do you think the score is going to be? You know, you got those guys 0-0. You got those guys, Clay, 3-0. I would have said 14-13 Giants. That would have been my guess. Maybe 17-14 Giants. But no, the Raiders no-showed. Wow. They no-showed at home over the holidays, over the Christmas holidays. They didn't show up at all. Wow. That was a surprise to me. Not that they lost the game. If you would have held me to the fire, I would have said they're going to lose the game. And we know why. You know, you could sit Max, and I'll get to Max in a minute. I've been texting Max all year. There's nothing that I wouldn't say that was private with me and Max that I'll share with you. But, you know, you can imagine Max is going through a really tough time because he loves football and wants to play. And he was told he can't play, and he wanted to play. Do we need a rocket scientist to figure that out? Do I need someone in here to interpret what I said? I just told you. Max wants to play football. Max wants to play. He was told he's not playing. The organization is bigger than Max, right? The organization, the team, thought in their best interest Max shouldn't play. Max clearly is injured. Clearly. But the difference is Max plays through injuries as others shut down. Max wanted to play. He was told he's not going to play. That's it. There's not a lot of gossip and drama. I was in the building today. Max is in the building today. That's it. He's not happy about it. A lot of guys get benched and don't play. You don't hear a peep. Max is a pretty big guy. And Max has a basketball court and a trampoline with a daughter. And if he wants to bounce his little toddler daughter on a trampoline and shoot a jump shot, it ain't the end of the world. Okay? It is for the drama queens who want to make everything the end of the world. But Max is going to be fine. Okay? We need Max to get completely healthy. We did last year too. When he shut him down. So that's what's going to happen. And it's not a comfortable topic. I am not comfortable with this topic because I want to win every game. Every game. Why would I ever be on the radio ever on this proud platform and say, I hope we lose? Never. But I understand what's at stake with the number 1 pick. So if they lose, you know, my wife makes fun of me. My nickname's Cranky Yankee because when the Yankees lose, my wife encourages me to walk around the block. I got that from my dad. When the Raiders lose, I'm the guy. I'm the guy on the microphone hosting the postgame show. I'm the guy hitting the elevator button down when everybody else has gone home and the cleaning crew's there, and I drive out of that stadium after a loss, and my head is never in a good place after a loss. But I wasn't sitting around freaking out after this loss. I wasn't. I was just surprised that they no-showed. That's it. That's the show. I am shocked that the team no-showed in this game at the level that they did. So all the media attention they're getting from Schefter and Glazer and everybody is warranted. It is warranted for how they're performing on the football field. And it's going to get a lot worse because Mendoza or whoever ain't coming in till late April. And the Raiders are going to get beat up like a piñata. All through Super Bowl, Radio Row, all of it. All of it. And deservingly so because they didn't play well this year. But you got to show up a little bit better in front of the kids who've never been to a Raider game in the 400 section, and they wanted to enjoy the game, and they had Santa hats on and stockings, and they were going to their first game, and you no-showed them. You absolutely no-showed them. Very shocking to me. The whole season's been a shock. You know, if everybody is put me to the fire, well, I thought Gino would be good. Yeah, I thought Gino would be good. I didn't think he'd be a Pro Bowler, but he's been to the Pro Bowl, 4,300 yards, 70%. Thought he'd be okay. Didn't think he'd be this bad. Didn't think the offensive line would be the worst. Didn't think the special teams would be the worst unit in the NFL by far. Right? They fired a coach. I thought they'd get a little bit better. No. I didn't think the team would be this bad on third down, getting off the field or picking up first downs on third down. Everything they've done this year, they've done poorly. Everything. I mean, literally everything. Offense, defense, special teams. Individual offense, individual defense. And then the other thing I'll say on the aftermath of the loss is I have very good news. Very good news. I don't know who's coming back to coach. Why would I know? Vinny doesn't know. I don't know. No one knows. Clay doesn't know. People in the building don't know. Some might. I don't. Whatever happens, how you going to play defense? How you going to play defense? I can guarantee you, whoever the coach is, whatever the scheme is, it will be completely different. 100% different, which is kind of cool because I like X's and O's. I'm a football geek, a junkie. You're going to have a brand new defense. Ready for this? The offensive scheme. Whatever you think the scheme was, completely abandoned. Brand new offense. You're all going to get Christmas presents next year that you won't believe. You're going to get a new offense. You're going to get a new offensive line. You're going to get a new defense. You're going to get a new defensive scheme. You're going to get a brand new special teams. Everything you dreamed of in Raider Nation that you get from a football perspective on how to attack the football game is going to be completely brand new and different. Now, I don't know who's going to be in charge of it. Don't know. But it's going to be great because everything that they did this year, which was done with high merit, class, dignity, the right plan on paper, didn't work. None of it worked. Nada. Nothing worked at all. It's all gone. Start from scratch. I'm not a rebuild guy. I don't want to go up to Brock Bowers' mom in the parking lot where she tailgates and says, Mrs. Bowers, we're rebuilding. Your son is in year 3. I ain't that guy. I don't like to rebuild, but a lot of you people want to take it down to the studs and rebuild it. You do you. You do you. You do whatever you want to do. You want Mendoza? You do you. Get your Mendoza jersey now. Do whatever you want to do. But whatever's going to happen is going to look wild. It's going to look good. It's going to be fun to talk about after this. After what we saw this year, everything they put out on paper and with the new roster is going to look fabulous. Clay, it's kind of like when you prepare a garden, okay? And you take out the old garden, you till it, and you till it up. And
pull it out by the roots.
You pull it out by the roots, and then you plant the new garden. You throw a couple flowers in the back. That's what this is going to look like.
And you go shopping. You look at new stuff.
Yes.
Move stuff around.
Yeah, you might get sunflowers.
You get kind of excited about the new changes.
You might have some roses. I got some roses in Summerlin in my house on the mean streets. I got roses.
I got some wild roses too.
Yeah,
They're nice. You got to take care of them.
Yes, you got to take care of the roses. So everything that's going to happen, no matter how it happens, is going to look different. On this show, we do it differently. Might not be your cup of tea. It's amazing how many people watch and listen and come to me at the Torch and say, love the show. And those who don't, you're right here. I'm looking right at you. It's going to be okay. It was hard this year, man. It was hard. Wow. I mean, I just got off the set with Eric Allen and Lincoln Kennedy. And EA, who's more positive than EA? And thank you for not bringing some of the grief that you bring to me to EA. Thank you. Leave EA alone, please. And Lincoln can handle himself. But EA is sitting there looking at the tackling. I mean, Eric Allen is so disappointed in the basic tackling of this football team. And it's really tough to see a guy like Eric Allen, who is known as a ball hawk, to watch the tackling on this team. It's really bad. And Pete Carroll, historically, is a really good tackling coach. So, Clay, we got Pete Carroll ready to go. Here's Pete Carroll. He spoke earlier today at Raiders headquarters. When Clay says we have it, we'll go to it. This was from earlier today, a little over an hour ago.
I just wonder if there any update on Gino Smith and what his availability for this week.
Yeah, it looks like he does not have a high ankle sprain, but he sprained his ankle. And so we'll see what that means. We don't know right now, but it's significant, though.
We'll get a better idea.
Pardon me?
As far as playing on Sunday, when we have a better idea.
Well, we'll just go day to day and see what's happening. But it's gonna be hard for him to play, I think. Be a challenge. We'll see what happens.
You open up this week for
Sure. Sure.
Ready to name a starter?
No, well, I mean, let's just see what happens here and give us a couple days here and figure it out. I'm anxious to see Kenny and Aiden play if they get the chance. So we'll see how that goes.
Watching the game again last night, I was surprised Malcolm, not surprised that he can't, but Malcolm Kuntz had, even watching the game, a better game than what I saw watching live. What did you think of his evaluation? Just kind of as
He was really active. You know, he was active on the run and the pass game. He was getting off the tackle and, you know, had played a factor in running plays as well as pass plays. Didn't get home like we'd hoped, you know, but he still he really went for it. He knew that he had to really play up, and we needed the activity from him, and I thought he came through in that regard.
And the offensive line played so well in Houston, and it certainly struggled yesterday. I'm curious, what causes that? What did you see that maybe you saw a difference in the performance of the offensive line between the two games?
There's kind of Dexter Lawrence that had a hell of a game against us yesterday. He really dictated what was going on inside, and they've got two terrific edge guys. Those guys, you know, and I know Houston does too, but in this matchup, it seemed like their inside guys were more of a factor than the Houston guys were, and you know, we lost Parm, you know, right off the bat. He was sick coming off the pregame, and so. You know, Mafia jumped in, had to play, and Caleb had to go up against him, and they were tough matchups.
What are you looking to get out of this last week from your team?
I like to have fun playing football. Practice with a lot of energy. Get ready for a game. We're playing Kansas City. They won the freaking division for 10 years straight, or whatever it is. It'll be fun to play them. Fun to go against Andy to me, and so I'm gonna. There's no reason for us to think about anything other than playing ball. And so from the locker room, that's what I said to him afterward, that we got 1 week to do something special. Let's make sure that we do everything we can to create that. And we'll see what happens.
You mentioned that you expected Max to be back in the building today. Is that the case?
Yeah, he's here.
Yeah. How are those conversations?
We were just texting last night. I haven't seen him this morning.
Whether it's players,
He's here.
whether it's players or philosophies, would you say there's any building blocks just around the building that make you, optimistic for the future? How do you continue to build around that?
Well, it's just going to keep going like we go, and that we just try to make it as hard for everybody as possible to compete to be the player that they're capable of being. And there's going to be opportunities now for tremendous opportunities for acquisitions to add to the team. We'll see how that goes, but we'll just try to continue to make it as competitive in all spots as we can possibly make it. And our guys have taken to the mentality. They know when I say stuff like that, they know what I'm talking about, and they have to rise up every day and battle against each other and try to see what who can win and who's going to get on the highlights the next day in the meetings and all that. That's the foundation of it. It's where you're coming from. We're coming to compete to be as good as we can possibly be, and we know this team a lot better now. We know who we got. And we'll do everything we can to make it as good as possible.
Throughout the course of the season, there's been guys like Devin White or Eric Stokes that have kind of been, written off because of injuries and other places. You talked about it. They've had the seasons that they've had. I guess how proud of you are those guys, to really, come in here and make themselves really intricate parts of this defense?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind this place being known for, bring me your tired, bring me your weak, bring me your people masses or whatever it is, guys come here for a little resurrection. That's a good thing. Jamal, came back to us and played some good football for us this year, and Devin has certainly had a really productive year. Really fired up about Stokes, because just the DB thing and the corner thing, and that's kind of what we told him was going to happen. And if he'd come with us, and he trusted us, and he had a heck of a season, and so. It's important for us to be a place where guys can show who they are and what they're all about, and so that's the environment that we create and the culture that we have, and hopefully we can keep building on that.
All right, that's a portion of Pete Carroll. So what you think about what he wants to do going forward? He said he wants to have fun, right? I think that's important because the season's over. Go out there with your team one more time. Try to put out a good effort. Not many people want to win the game. Most Raider fans want the number one pick. We're aware of that. We know where you stand on that. We don't have to do a lot of that. We get it. But Pete Carroll just has one way to coach, and that's the way he'll prepare the team this week as we bring in Chris in West Oakland. who joins us. Chris, good to hear from you for one of the last times, I'm assuming, of 2025 before next week.
I think probably the last time because I definitely won't be able to call tomorrow. We got a game. I'll be on the road, so I wanted to get in today. And first things first, man, best wishes to your mom. Glad to hear she's recovering and slowly getting better. And you're right about it being a blessing. I got a mom that's, almost 84 years old, and consider ourselves lucky. You got both your parents. I still have one of mine, and it's a good thing because the older you get, you certainly start appreciating things like that in life that are a hell of a lot more important than a football game. Also, I hope you got home in time to make your famous. Is it chicken parmesan or veal?
Yeah, the chicken parm went out. The reel went out to some friends. We filmed it all day, so maybe I'll put that out. But I did cook the world famous chicken parm, and it was outstanding as always. Thank you, Chris.
Glad to hear it. So real quick, and I'm not going to be redundant. One of the reasons I haven't called as much is, again, redundancy. It's been the same thing every week. This team's got a million holes. And I have too much respect for Pete Carroll. I'm not going to get on here, call for his job. Do I think he might not be the best guy to lead him forward? Because whether you like to rebuild or not, JT, coming off a 2-win season, it's a rebuild. Now, rebuild doesn't mean 3 years. You look at the Chiefs, look at the Redskins last year. You look at the Bears. You look at the Patriots. You get that bright young quarterback and you hit on him and you get a bright young coach to go with him. You can turn it around in a year or two. But to me, it all starts with the quarterback. And yes, am I going to sit there and openly root to lose against the Chiefs? That's hard for me to do, but two things can be true. I can also acknowledge that losing the game while losing always sucks to the Chiefs might be better for the long-term health of this franchise. We'll deal with that going forward. Who I like, Mendoza, more. We'll talk about that more in coming weeks, too, because I'm like you. I think it's incredibly boring to do draft day radio. But I will say this. It's imperative that this team rolls the dice finally. We can't keep taking cast-offs. We can't keep saying next year. You got to go get that young quarterback because if the NFL team is a human body, JT, the quarterback is its heart, soul, and brains. You can live without some limbs. You can live without a kidney. You can't live without a heart and soul and brains, and you cannot compete in the NFL, and especially in the AFC West, without that bright young quarterback. We'll see what they do down the road. Again, I've got way too much respect for Pete Carroll and what he's accomplished to sit here and blatantly call for his job. Whatever the organization decides to do, that's up to people whose pay grade's a lot higher than mine and yours. So, again, this has been a rough year. I did not think it was this bad. I said 6 or 7. I never saw 2 wins. I never saw Gino Smith being this bad. But the handwriting's clearly on the wall. The organization knows what they have to do. It's time they go out and do it and give us fans something to cheer about because, damn it, I'm tired of meaningless games after Halloween every year. Thank you, my friend. Peace. And one other thing, how much you're appreciated to the Raider Nation. You're one of the last people on radio that gives guys like us a voice. You care what we have to say. Whether it's valid or not, whether it's just a loudmouth getting off on the radio, it means a lot that we still have a platform because of somebody like you. Be safe on New Year's Eve. Happy New Year, and hopefully 2026 is going to get a whole lot better as a Raider fan because, damn, I'm scared to say it can't get any worse because every time I say that, it does. But I sure hope this is rock bottom and nothing to go but up. Take care of your family, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Take care, Chris in West Oakland. Always appreciate him. He's a big part of what we do. He's the classic example of someone who could easily be sitting in one of these seats hosting a show. He's above talented to do that, but he has another life he chooses, which is a great life, and he just chooses to have fun by calling in. Some days he's pretty hot and intense, and we need that. It's a big part of sports radio. It's also a part of sports radio that's going away. It's going away. I'm not saying sports radio is dead. It's not. It's my livelihood. But it's nowhere near where it was 10, 20, 30 years ago, where you matter. You matter to me, and this station and some other networks, a few. We do a great job on Mad Dog because it's kind of fans count. But most of sports radio has now gone away. They don't want you. They don't want to hear from you. They're not interested in anything you do other than maybe listening to the advertisers and doing that. They could care less. These are now program directors who are 25, 30 years old all over the country who never hosted a radio show, never did overnights, never did a weekend shift, and they think they know what they're doing. It's awful. We are the last bastion of a place where you can go and sound off like you got a pair. Some days are going to be better than others. It's not going to be perfect, but we actually care about what you think. We do. I do. And if you know me, like most people who know me, they know that. If you don't know me, you never met me, too bad. I'm available. I'm right at the torch. I actually lit the torch. Not too far to find me. I don't have to give you breadcrumbs. I'm right there at the torch for every game. In the parking lot and J lot, and everybody's in a great mood, even with this season. The holiday spirit is amongst us. Now we got to figure out how this thing's going to end on Sunday. I absolutely have no idea. No idea how it's going to end. When we come back, the great Mark Anderson will join us. He's always fun. He's right there asking questions, right, with Vinny Bonsignor. He asked a couple of big ones to Pete Carroll a little while ago. We'll get his analysis on the aftermath. Harry Ruiz, the Latino voice of the Silver and Black, amongst other things. And then Sam Mson with his national radio hit he does with me at the top of the hour. 4 hours tonight on Mad Dog Sports Radio from 6 to 10. Boyd Gaming is the official and exclusive local. All right, nice little monologue there. Some fun, but always bet on black. Casinos across the valley. Don't let the game get out of hand. Please bet responsibly.
Better internet? Cox Internet has the fast, reliable speeds you're looking for. Perfect for seamless streaming, gaming, and working from home. And now get Cox 300 Meg Internet with a 2-year plan, price lock guarantee, plus equipment included. Yay. So get your household up to speed. Switch to Cox Internet today. Taxes and fees excluded from price guarantee.
See your Vegas Golden Knights on Saturday, January 31st against the Seattle Kraken. Party Deck, presented by Sire's Parents. Party Deck is where all the off-the-ice excitement happens. From the Knights Castle to the...
Yes.
Deck or skating. Tickets start at just $39. Go to VGKTicketExchange.com. The info. That's VGKTicketExchange.com. Sponsored by Westar Credit Union and Centennial Subaru. Results after Arms birthday tickets will be ordered by mobile 48 hours before the game.
That's JT for the Black Hole. Home to football's most. I'm texting wasted talent, trying to figure out when to get him on tomorrow. It's famous Golden Nugget Resort Casino on Fremont Street. This isn't just a store; it's the official Black Hole fan store. It's created by the fans. Yeah, we didn't win a lot of games, man. It's I think this is probably the worst offense in Raider history, and it's in contention for the worst team of all time. It is. Too bad. It's unfortunate. We didn't think it would happen. It is, and only one way to go from here is going up. I can tell you that.
Stone Crab Claws.
What do you think, Clay? I mean, what do you think? This is one of the worst teams ever?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Clay thinks so too.
Semi-private dining for both intimate and large party gatherings.
Yep. I mean, it would be the 1961 team, 2-12 in 1961.
Till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known.
All right, we'll get Mark Anderson up here, and we'll get rolling with him. La Casa this weekend. Yes, Cisco. I'd love to have a cigar from you. Mike over at La Casa got me a box of the Banker. I've never had that cigar, the Banker, man. Little small ones, but great, man. To your favorite events. Can you believe Aaron Rodgers loses to the Browns, man? Wow.
Well, I think that different good time. I'll put that on the right
Today, use promo code BRECK for 10% off. That's MRide.com, promo code BRECK.
They have Mark Anderson.
Contractors and DIYers. McFadden Industrial Hardware has the tools, parts, and supplies to power your next project. Open early and stocked with everything you need. Stop by South Decatur near Russell. McFadden Industrial Hardware. Fast, easy, and built for the pros. It's official like a referee's whistle. Denny's is now open at Silver Seven's Hotel and Casino. Your diner favorites are here. And yes, you could use your casino points.
All right, just Is Q today at the world famous?
24/7.
Yes, good.
No
Good
excuses.
Silver Seven.
When you want. And keep the night. Located just 1 mile from the Las Vegas Strip, Silver Sevens offers slots, table games, and a lively sports book. The new Denny's is now open inside Silver Sevens for food and fun.
Welcome back to the JT the Brick Show, brought to you by the Black Hole. Become a member of football's most notorious fans.
Fourth and goal, gotta have it all. Gino Smith, Dante Thornton, and Tucker out to the right. Genty in the backfield. Shotgun snap. Smith back to throw. He's eyeing the right. He climbs the pocket, lobs to the back of the end zone. Touchdown Raiders! It's all reliable. The former Seahawks teammates Tyler Lockett in the back of the end zone. His first touchdown as a Raider. And with 31 seconds to go in the third, Las Vegas not done yet. It's 20-9, Giants on top.
Tell you, Jason Horowitz does a nice job on those calls. He does a really nice job. You can't tell what the score is when you hear those touchdowns or what he's doing. JT, back with you, along with Clay Baker. Over the next 2 shows, I'm going to be thanking everyone. So I want to begin with Tommy White from the 872 Laborers. Tommy, happy holidays, happy New Year. Whenever I'm around town and I see anyone from the 872, I tell them, we love Tommy White. Thanks for building this city on time and on budget. Tommy's the guy I go see before every game, no matter where I am. I go into Tommy's suite, wish him well, get a chance to see some of his great teammates at the 872. They are a proud partner of the 872. Happy New Year to all the great men and women involved with Local 872. Mark Anderson joins us, the great journalist and friend from the AP. And Mark, let's begin. You were just in front of Pete Carroll. You've been doing this a while, and you've talked to some legendary coaches. What has this season been like for you with all the questions and, Pete Carroll being accountable and answering these questions to you?
First of all, JT, I just want to congratulate you on yesterday. It was a tremendous honor and well-deserved, and
thank you.
I'm very happy for you.
Thank you, Mark. Means a lot. Thank you.
I think my UNLV football training is finally paying off for me. All those years ago. So, I've been through it before and plenty of times with coaches on the hot seat, as I think Pete Carroll is, and you wondering where, if it's ever going to go in the right direction. So I do think he's been mostly accountable, but I'm also seeing that, I don't think he's happy with the decisions that have been made recently. And it's clear to me that John Spytek now is calling the shots. I thought Pete Carroll was calling most of the personnel shots earlier. But I feel like Spytek is now making those decisions, and that tells me that if I had to bet on it, I don't think Pete Carroll's going to be back after this week, and that we'll see where they go for a coach. But I think Spytek is the one making the calls because it's his job to look at the overall health of the franchise and not just trying to win the next game, and that's what last week's moves were all about.
Mark Anderson's our guest. I think I'm going to remember this season, and I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but the loyalty that Gino had to Pete Carroll and Pete Carroll had to Gino, even at the press conference today, and I got to interview him tomorrow for the last time this season, even when Gino's hurt and we know he's not going to play, he's not going to tell us that. There's just something about Gino where if there's a chance for Gino to get up off the mat or to do anything, he's going to give Gino that chance. I think we're all aware it won't be this week, but that loyalty is like nothing I haven't seen in quite some time in sports.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think Gino being booed before games a couple times had to kill Pete. I'm sure he just had to hate hearing that, because that was his big off-season acquisition. And he had all the faith in Gino, and for good reason. They'd had a lot of success together. I don't really blame all the Raiders' offensive problems on Gino. Certainly he's a big part of it, but he never had the proper protection. Nash and Genty hasn't had the proper blocking. So they didn't properly address the offensive line in the offseason, and you saw what happened. So, but having said that, I think Gino's best days are probably behind him. Mm-hmm. That's not to say he can't hook on with another organization next season and go somewhere and make some sort of impact. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. But but I don't think he's back in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I think Gino's going to play again. He's still young enough, and he's going to get a chance. He's going to recover from the hits he played, and he's going to play football again. And I do think there is a small chance that he could be back due to his contract and be a bridge quarterback if the Raiders get the first pick overall. I think that's possible. Obviously, that door is going to be kept open until it's shut. But I just thought Gino had a really bad year. It's just unfortunate because I know he's a better player than what he showed everybody. And Sam Darnold, right, was a better player than what he showed us with the Jets. And look at him now. And there are other quarterbacks who do put up, Mark, good numbers, not elite, but good numbers. And then they go somewhere else, Baker Mayfield, and they put up great numbers. And I just thought if Gino was able to sustain the numbers and the consistency that he showed at times in Seattle, he would have been okay here. He wasn't. Yeah. He just didn't have a good year.
No, I agree with you. And I mean, I really went into the season thinking this was probably a 7 or 8 win team, and if everything breaks their way, maybe they win 9 and get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
I really did think that, and obviously, and when they opened up what I thought was an impressive win at New England, I just was further convinced this was a team that would at least be solid this season. So this is something I definitely agree with Pete Carroll, and I didn't see this coming. I really did not see a 2, potentially 3-win team coming. You know, and I don't think they're, the draft didn't quite work out the way I think they envisioned. I don't think their offseason free agent signings really worked out the way they hoped. So I just think it goes back to the offseason. It just wasn't as good an offseason as maybe at the time it appeared, for whatever reason. So, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, I know Mark Davis really doesn't want to make another coaching change, but he might just feel like, especially if they get the number 1 pick, and you bring in Fernando Mendoza in, I can see him say, well, we want a younger coach to kind of grow with the quarterback, maybe an offensive-minded head coach, and I can definitely see that happening.
Yeah, I think Mark has removed all the coaches who haven't done well and were going to be removed. I mean, Mark's not sitting here removing coaches that are 9 wins or 8 wins and not on the right path. I mean, if you have a really, really, really bad season like we've had around here, there's a chance you won't be back. And that goes with most organizations. I mean, this isn't Jimmy Johnson, where his first year with Dallas, he won 1 game and then went to the Hall of Fame. Pete Carroll already has a chance to go to the Hall of Fame. We'll see what Mark's decision is going forward with Pete Carroll after next week. I'm going to ask the few guests I have on this week, because it's a short week, including you. How do you think this Kansas City game is going to play out? Because I talked to Eric Allen about it today, and we know, and you know, that Andy Reid was really tight with the Madden family, John Madden, very tight. He spoke at his celebration of life in Oakland. Andy Reid has a lot of respect for the Davis family, going back to Mr. Davis. I don't think Andy Reid's going to get off the plane in Vegas and mail it in to hurt the Raiders or mail it in to do things, but I know he has good players that shouldn't play because he's going to need them next year. What do you think? What are you looking at compared to Kansas City after seeing the Giants coming in where people thought they were going to tank?
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree. I don't think Andy Reid's coming here to lose the game.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think they're not going to play all their best players either. Largely for health reasons. I mean, if someone is, been battling an injury for the past 3 weeks, I mean, why put him out there? I can definitely see that. I think Travis Kelce, if this is his last game, I think he's going to go out on a high note. I can definitely see him really having a big game. I see it being a pretty close game. I really do. But then again, I thought the Giants game would be close. So what do I know? But I just don't think either team has a lot of firepower right now. I don't know who whoever the quarterback, Kenny Pickett or Aiden O'Connell, I don't know who they're going to throw the ball to other than Michael Mayer. I mean, they don't really have any weapons, and and I just, I can see the Chiefs shutting down Ashton Jeanty. They're always limiting him quite a bit. I just don't really see where the offense is going to come from. Really, from so much from either team for that much part. So I can see it being a kind of low scoring game, and I think the Chiefs are favored by 5. So that line makes sense to me. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders made it interesting.
Great to hear from you, Mark. Always good to see you. See you yesterday in the press box, and thanks so much for everything you do, and we'll have you on in the new year as always.
Sounds good, JT. Thank you so much. Have a great New Year's.
You got it. Mark Anderson is a tremendous addition. As long as I have this show, he will be one of our premier insiders. He's just good. He's just a journalist, and he's there, and he grinds, and he's good. He's been good, Clay, for a long time. I mean, I still get the newspaper. There's something called the newspaper that lands on my driveway. And when he was writing at the Review Journal, now the AP, whenever he writes or doing any type of content, I enjoy it.
Yeah, you always know what you're going to get, and you're going to get a good analysis, but a good opinion.
Yeah.
Because Mark's been here, and I love how he's like, yeah, well, I've gotten used to a lot of losing coaches over the years for covering UNLV football, which is funny because now they're at the bright end of the spectrum.
Yeah, absolutely. The UNLV, other than the loss to Ohio. Not Ohio State, they lost to Ohio.
Brutal.
But, don't get me going. So I wanted to share this with you because I didn't hear it till today. This is the sound of the torch lighting from Jason Horowitz and the Raider perspective. The Raiders put together this video package and a look back at my career as they asked me to light the torch on Sunday in memory of Al Davis.
Here, Tim Hughes got a good friends. And one of your voices here on Raider Nation Radio, JT the Brick. He's up there. Let's listen in.
Proud ambassador of the silver and black champions the legacy of the Raiders, fueled by his unwavering devotion to the Davis family and the brotherhood of Raiders alumni. He is here today to light the torch in honor of and in tribute to Al Davis, who declared that the fire that burns the brightest in the Raiders organization is the will to win. Raider Nation, the first ever inductee into the Black Hole Hall of Fame, JT the Brick.
He's got his right hand on that torch. Nobody cares about how this team does week in, week out more than JT the Brick, Jason Horowitz, Kirk Morrison. Happy to have you back up there. And I mean that.
Yeah.
He is up here in the third quarter of every game. Can we get the man open down the middle?
Say something bad about silver and black, and you will have a black eye. Talking to JT. That's just how it is. He is silver and black through and through, man. A great friend, a great colleague, great honor for JT the Brick.
Thank you to Kirk Morrison and Jason Horowitz. Very nice and humbling for them to say such kind words, and I think the world of them too, and everybody that I've worked with in my 28 seasons with this team, from Greg Papa to Tom Flores to Lincoln Kennedy to everybody that I've started with on Silver and Black Productions. What was very emotional for me today, yesterday, lighting the torch was the George Atkinson 43 across from me, and I kind of kept my eye on George, and that was pretty emotional to stand there and just stare at the 43. And that was for George. And David Hum, who I started with David Hum. And I wish David was there. David's sister was there. She gave me a big hug behind the torch. So that was yesterday. We move on. We get you ready for Kansas City when we come back. And then Harry Ruiz will join us after Sam Mson. If you want to call in, we do accept your phone calls. We actually look forward to them. If you have an opinion this week, it's a short week. So jump on in, 702-365-9200, and as we're live on the Raiders mobile app. Yeah, I'm gonna remember and get you a couple of. The talent on two, and maybe Bill Krackenberger. We'll figure that out.
Nice.
Yeah.
For your 3 up and 3 down, where would you like me to start it? We can actually say 3 up, 3 down, and you begin the highlights.
Yeah, I think I'd like to throw to. Here's my 3 up, 3 down.
Okay, cool.
You know,
Sounds good.
do that.
All right.
Mhm.
And discarding. Safely dispose of household chemicals.
Probably do that before or after Harry.
You want to do it after Sam?
Waterway wisdom.
Yeah.
Before Harry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Join us in preserving Nevada's waters for generations by visiting lovenpwaters.com and following us on social media. This message sponsored by the Nevada Department of Transportation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station. Join Mark Patrick Hypnosis and stop smoking now without kindness, credibility, weight gain, or your money back.
Totally changed my life.
Yeah, well, Mark's trying to figure it out. I sat with Mark for a little bit at the game. He wanted to win. He did. He's not happy. He's not happy with this season. I can promise you that. But, you know, you either want to hear that or you don't. That doesn't matter.
It works, period.
You've tried everything else.
Got a lot of people in here today. Welcome to the news, people. Please hit the like button. Please hit like and please subscribe. Okay, we want to get to 8,000 subscribers by this week. And then we'll get to 10 real quick after that. Then 10 goes to 20. We got some good giveaways that are coming up here. It's kind of going to be random. There's a lot of loyal people that have been here. I want to work on something for our administrators year-end, but you know who you are. But everybody else, it's kind of a random draw on some stuff we'll be doing. So what do we got, a shorty here, Clay? Or are you going to...
Now is the time to get red tag savings on the 2026 Silver Bar.
Like and subscribe.
Choose from other great offers on Colorado, giving it clever and convenient bed and tailgate functionality, plus outstanding touring for big adventures. This holiday season, it all comes together.
TC Martin says hello. So how short you want to go here, Clay? What are we doing here?
Need to do about 3 minutes, okay?
Okay, yeah.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
And former linebacker Kirk Morrison. That interview is brought to you by Credit One Bank. Credit One Bank, the official credit card of the Los
Monday Night Football, Rams, Falcons.
Football game days under the biggest stadiums and Hamburger Resort and Casino. And the 6 temperature-controlled pools. Big luxurious lounge chairs, day beds, and private cabanas. Feel the energy and catch every play from every game on our massive 143-foot screen. When it comes to watching football all season long, nowhere even comes close. Grab your spot at Stadium Swim today at circalasvegas.com.
Welcome back to the JT the Brick Show, brought to you by the DeCasta Verde Law Group. If you get injured in an accident, call 702-222-9999.
Gino with a play fake. 3-step drop. Finds Michael Mayer at the 30. Crossing left to right. And he's spun down from behind by Okereke outside at the 40. They pick up 16. And Michael Mayer already has multiple catches in the game for the first time since week 11. Of course, all of that, Brock Bowers on IR. You're going to get a lot more of the third-year pro out of Notre Dame.
Jason Horowitz on Michael Mayer. I got a lot to say on Big Mike. I think he's been underused the whole time he's been there. I'm very careful about what I say because I'm not a coach, but I can't believe that Michael Mayer has not been used better than he has been in college. I cannot believe that Michael Mayer was brought to this organization with the skill set that he has, and is turned into a special teams and offensive lineman. I cannot believe that. Did you see Michael Mayer yesterday? Why are we holding Michael Mayer back to a point where he doesn't get more touches and have the ability to be a better offensive weapon? I could never understand that, no matter who's been here, who's been the GM, who's been the coach. I cannot believe that Michael Mayer isn't used better. I'm shocked by it. It's a big topic for me. I think he's a really good player that shouldn't be in blocking and being on special teams. Hey, tomorrow, Aesthetics for Men. That's the men's spa I've been telling you about. Off Sahara, right up there as you're getting up to Wallapai. It's right there on the right. You can't miss it. Whatever you need. It's unbelievable. They've been great to me for everything from the hydrofacial, if you need hair restoration, if you want to lose weight. There are so many offers that they have. And through January 6th, you save $100 on any treatment. Now, I've been going there for a couple of months now, and every time I go in there, I come out of there feeling amazing. And whatever you want to do, some of you guys, it's a guys' men's spa. So think of it differently. You got to go inside. Tomorrow, Aesthetics for Men. Go check them out. I think you'll love what they offer. TMRW. Okay? TMRW. And you'll love what they do. They've been great to me. They're a proud partner, and they want your business. And they want you to check it out. And if you go there, I think you're going to enjoy it a lot. Tomorrow, Aesthetics for Men, $100 off. Mention JT. I've sent people there. They love it. And whatever plan they have in place, there might be one for you that could help you at the end of the year or through the new year. All right, when we come back, we'll get to Sam Mson. More sound from the Raiders in the locker room. You know, the Raiders are pretty professional, but I know a lot of people are concerned about the future of Max Crosby. I'm not, because I know Max is a big boy. He's a big boy who handles his business extremely well. Hasn't been perfect, but we're all on Team Max, and we always have Max's back on the flagship of the Silver and Black.
The FCS Championship game.
All right, everybody. I'm going to hydrate and be back in a moment. We got a lot of people here, so stick around, please. Stick around.
The game.
Brought to you by the Southern Nevada Chevrolet dealers.
Gambler's bonus hits again. On October 15th, Robert hit 4 nines, clearing his Gambler's bonus 4-of-a-kind bingo card for almost $7,000. Robert hit big, and so can you with Gambler's bonus. It's why you play the game.
Boyd Gaming is the official and exclusive local casino partner of the Las Vegas Raiders at Allegiant Stadium. Bring your friends, have some fun, but always bet on black. Visit their 10 casinos across the valley. Don't let the game get out of hand. Please bet responsibly.
Hi, this is Paul Pata. During the holidays, life can change in an instant. And when it does, you deserve a team that stands by you every step of the way.
When you call Paul Pata Law, we listen. From the very first moment, you're treated like family.
We guide you through every question, every concern, making sure you never feel alone. Together, we build your path forward because at Paul Pata Law,
It's not about the injury, it's about the recovery. Go to paulpatalaw.com.
This is JT for the local 872, proud partners of Raider Nation Radio, led by Tommy White, building the city on time and on budget. Go to local872.com to find out about apprenticeships, career paths, all the public work zones, and the schedules that are happening here in our valley. I'm proud to be associated with the 872, proud partners of my show and Raider Nation Radio. Raider Nation, it's JT. I partnered with Charles Woodson and his Woodson Whiskey. It's the official bourbon whiskey of the Black Hole and the Las Vegas Raiders. If it wasn't your game day whiskey, it is now. Raise a bottle at your next tailgate and toast to the Silver and Black. The limited edition Black Hole bottles now available at woodsonwhiskey.com. Use the promo code JTTheBrick at checkout for 15% off. That's woodsonwhiskey.com, the official whiskey of Raider Nation. Please celebrate responsibly.
Remy Martin is the official cognac of the JT the Brick Show. When you're celebrating any of your team's victories, celebrate with Remy Martin Cognac, XO, VSOP, and 1738. Remy Martin, team up for excellence.
FIFA World Cup 2026 is coming soon, but your opportunity to be there starts now through an exclusive offer with an eligible Bank of America Visa credit card. For a limited time, become a new customized cash rewards or unlimited cash rewards Visa credit card holder, and you will be eligible for a chance to purchase FIFA World Cup 2026 tickets. Learn more at BofA.com/cardFWC26. What would you lend the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America, in partnership with Visa, terms of my rights reserved.
Joe's Seafood, prime steak and stone crab. The legendary seafood restaurant of Miami Beach is right on the strip to bring you a true dining destination. Serving USDA prime steaks, quality seafood, and world-famous Florida stone crab claws defined by a standard of hospitality for over a century. Inside the forums at Caesars, Joe's offers guests an experience that is perfect for lunch, after-work cocktails, social gatherings, to late-night dining. From private, semi-private dining for both intimate and large party gatherings.
Some personal injury lawyers talk about less fee, but when you read the fine print, it's really an empty promise. At the Richard Harris Law Firm, every client settlement gets our less fee guarantee. Who you hire matters. The Richard Harris Law Firm.
Get in the game and earn cash for betting sports with the William Hill Nevada Mobile Sports app on your phone or tablet. During William Hill's Fall Rewards, earn up to $500 cash back. Between now and December 31st, you'll be eligible for cash back points for every wager made, win or lose, on the William Hill Nevada Mobile Sports app. Earn even more cash back points for teasers and same-game parlay wagers made on the app. To enroll in Fall Rewards, opt in and to see participating locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Raider Nation has found its new home for daily Raiders content. This is Raider Nation Radio 920 AM, part of the Las Vegas Sports Network, KRLV Las Vegas. It's the JT the Brick Show.
Boy, my expectations, we don't win a bunch. And I don't care who hears that. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. He's legendary. His track record speaks for itself. He competes every single day, and that's what I love about it.
Your silver and black home to sound off for over 25 years.
Am I willing to play harder longer than the guy lining up across from the team lining up across from me? And if you're not, then I want to be the space. That's where the Raiders look at the guys. But excellence every day.
And now here's JT the Brick.
Welcome back, everybody. Hour number 2 as we continue. Happy holidays and Happy New Year. Last shows of the year. Before we finish off this year, going to next year, we'll be live from Radio Row in San Francisco, where we'll catch up in person with Sam Mson, who's kind enough to join us. He joins us every Monday with his national hit as we go around the league. And Sam, I want to begin with Pittsburgh, and what a blown opportunity. Just when we thought Tomlin had it fixed, he was turning it around. The heat was getting off his back from even his home fans. He's right back to where we thought he would be a couple of months ago, fighting for his life with a winner-take-all division game coming up.
And the kind of tragedy of it is how predictable this was, that it was going to be the game that Tomlin would drop after doing all the good that you just talked about. He's something like 0-4-1 in the last 5 games against teams 8 games below 500. So truly terrible football teams late in the season are the teams that Tomlin finds a way of losing to. And I mean, for a very good head coach, maybe good, not great, but a very good head coach, he has this weird run of, several different types of game that he always loses, whether it's division game on a short week, whether it's terrible teams late in the season. There's just these sort of several weird trends in Tomlin's career that seem to keep dropping him down the order.
Yeah, it's incredible what happened here. The other shocker to me was the Bills going for 2, not because they had to have the game or needed the game. It's a home game. It's one of the last games ever played at Rich Stadium, the old stadium. Was that necessary there? And what could that do to hurt their momentum? Or am I making too much out of momentum heading into the playoffs?
Yeah, I don't think it was necessary, but I think we're just in this world now where teams are more and more inclined to go for 2 to win the game, late. That I think teams are embracing the idea of one play in your own control to win or lose a football game, rather than, kick it, go to overtime, play what you believe may be a 50-50 chance to win it there. I think teams are just embracing that idea of one play right now, 2 points, 2 yards, let's get it done. And obviously the big sort of thing in that game was that Jalen Carter had blocked an extra point, which meant that they needed to win. The extra point wasn't going to get it done. They needed to actually score a 2-point conversion to get it done. And they had it dialed up. I mean, they had a receiver wide open in the end zone. And unfortunately, Josh Allen, just bad execution, just missed the throw. Whatever reason there was for that, whether the accumulation of pressure throughout the game, whether he was dealing with that ankle injury, whatever it was, Allen just missed the throw. And, he would be the first to say he's got to hit that throw. And if he does, it's a totally different outcome and a totally different outlook.
Yeah, it's incredible that he missed that pass, because he never seems to miss anything that badly, especially in a clutch performance moment like that. Sam Mson, our guest from the 33rd team. Everything's changed for me now with the 49ers. I was going down the lazy road, which I shouldn't have. They can't win without Bosa and Warner. You're just not. Don't tell me they're going to win deep into the playoffs without their 2 best, not their actual 2 best defensive players. Warner looks like he's trying to come back, and now Purdy's playing fantastic. That touchdown where he started, stopped, ran, pivoted, threw the quick touchdown to Usyk was Mahomes-esque. I didn't think he had that ability to do that in the running game. What has been the biggest shock to you and the 49ers, even though they're playing a last-place schedule?
Yeah, it really is just they keep doing it. That offense is spectacular, even when it's not 100% healthy. And I think that's the critical element of this is we knew the offense was going to be pretty good, and a lot of that was predicated on getting all their players back healthy. But this game had no George Kittle in it. This game, did not have the full complement of offensive playmakers, and they were still absolutely carving the Chicago Bears to pieces. So I think, we're reaching the point now, and maybe this Seattle game will be telling as well. We are reaching the point where you have to conclude, look, I agreed with you. I think absent Nick Bosa, absent Fred Warner, the defense just does not have enough talent to be competitive and to win these games and to beat a sequence of playoff teams. But these are the teams they're beating. They're not just skating by and finding a level, and when they run up against a really good football team, that's when they get found out and that's when they lose the games. They are beating the teams that they're going to have to face again in the playoffs. And I think you have to conclude then that maybe they're just going to win everything in a shootout, but they are capable of beating anybody.
I thought Caleb Williams was fantastic, other than that last play of the game. And there were a couple of drops on that final drive. Assess the play of Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson and the confidence level and how everything slowed down for him the second half of the season.
Yeah, I think he's right on the cusp of, ascending into real greatness, being one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He's not quite there yet, and there's still too many, little misses and too many throws where he doesn't quite get the ball where he needs to, and he either reads it correctly and doesn't execute or misreads it. But he's right there. I mean, in that game, he was phenomenal. He brought them back time after time. He had some absolutely beautiful throws in there. And then, unfortunately, it was one late in the game in that final drive where, he missed a touchdown. He had a guy wide open. He got forced out of the pocket. He tried to beat the blitz with his athleticism, and he actually found the right guy. There was a kind of coverage bust in the 49ers defense, and he just couldn't get the ball to him. If he did, I think he would have scored a touchdown, and we might have been talking about a different result as well.
Where do you stand coming up on Steelers and Ravens with the health of both teams going forward, winner take all, and the fact that the coaches know everybody inside and out? Harbaugh's been great in this game. So is Tomlin. It goes back and forth. It's normally a 3-point game. What a potential matchup here. I think this is a heavyweight fight. I just don't know who has the advantage. What do you think?
Yeah, and I'm glad that the Browns sprung the upset just so we get this.
Yes.
Get actually this division does come back down to the final game between these two teams the way it always kind of should have. On the one hand, it's the type of game that Tomlin finds a way of winning, and this is why he's still in the job, even though there are these frustrating streaks of futility against bad teams, or maybe they run into a level when they get to the postseason. But I feel like, in isolation, I think the Ravens have more talent this year. A lot's going to come down to whether Lamar Jackson can play. If he plays, how healthy is he? How much does that determine what the game plan is? Because the kind of reduced game plan with Tyler Huntley at quarterback, I actually think is the best way of them winning football games right now. Just load Derrick Henry up with 35, 40 carries a game and let him go nuts the way he did against Green Bay. So that might be the best way of them winning football games. Over the last month, I would say the Steelers have been better, but then they're capable of going out there and having the type of letdown performance that they had against Cleveland.
As we wrap it up, I want to get your opinion on Carolina and Tampa Bay. I don't see how Todd Bowles survives losing this game. I don't, because it'll be a collapse. They have a better team, I think. They were so good through week 5, 6, and 7, and now they're falling apart. That just isn't good for the franchise in the offseason. If he gets in and wins a playoff game, I think that is significant for him to remain the coach there. What's at stake in this one?
Yeah, I think you're right. This was supposed to be the year where they took a step forward and kind of bridged that gap between being a good football team and a great football team, and they've been found wanting in that area the last few years. They can get to the playoffs, and then they tend to get fairly comfortably beaten by the teams that are real contenders. This was supposed to be the year they took a step forward, and if anything, they've taken a step backwards. And some of that has been injuries, absolutely. They started the season, their offensive line was an absolute wreck. They then lost a bunch of receivers as well, and that was a big part of it. But they've been getting healthier. The receiving core is now basically fully intact. The offensive line got healthy and then got banged up again, so that's still a bit up in the air. But it's just not working for them right now. Baker Mayfield is not playing anything like the football he did earlier in the season. The defense isn't having the same kind of impact either. So I think you're right. If they lose this game, it's kind of difficult to defend 10 goals at that point.
But what was your analysis with Steve on the podcast with the 33rd team and everything you do on Max Crosby not being there for the Raiders? And obviously he wanted to play badly. You know the numbers with Max. They're incredible how he doesn't come out of games. And then, I'm not saying the Raiders were supposed to win the game, but the Giants weren't either. And the Giants annihilated the Raiders. They played that game like it was a division game and they wanted to win their division title. What are you seeing now with Las Vegas, with Kansas City coming in, and the heart that the Giants showed Sunday in Las Vegas?
Yeah, I feel for the Raiders that this is the responsible way to do it as a franchise. Nobody tanked in terms of going out there trying to lose a football game, but the way you tank is by saying, okay, Max, now's the time to go have your surgery. And, I'm sure Max Crosby, incredible competitor, incredible player, he's going to be frustrated. He wants to play. He wants to go out there and get it done. But I would assume that he will understand the big picture, give him some time to reflect on it and give him a bit of time to go by. But that's how you end up with a better draft pick. That's how you end up potentially with that number one pick and potentially turn the franchise around if you get the right player at the top of that draft. So I think the Raiders did absolutely the right thing going into that game and sort of trying to secure that pick institutionally. And then the Giants, I think they've just been a better football team than the Raiders this season. They found something in some of their young players. They've been a better team all the way through the season. They've beaten some good football teams. They have more wins against teams with winning records right now, could change, than the Patriots do. Like the Giants have actually been competitive this year in a way I think a lot of people expected the Raiders to be, but they just haven't been. So I think we just saw the difference between the two teams, and really the Giants, should be further away from that number one overall pick.
Last one, Sam. Who do you like better, Jacksonville or Denver, to go deeper with a chance to get to the Super Bowl right now today in the AFC?
I think it's wide open this year in both conferences. And part of that is because we just don't necessarily trust anybody.
Right.
Nobody has that, institutional history. Nobody's the Chiefs. Nobody's got the years of built up track record. It's a new team. It's a new sequence of teams, and they're all different, whether they're relying on defense, whether they're relying on a new unproven quarterback, the offense. I think it's all different. So I think both those teams have the ability. Denver's defense has been phenomenal. They've got the best pass rush in the NFL, and Bo Nix is definitely capable of lighting things up when they need them to put up some points. He just doesn't do it consistently. Meanwhile, Jacksonville's been one of the best teams in the NFL over the last month or so with Trevor Lawrence playing at a completely different level. The Colts slowed him down for a half this week, but then he got right back on the horse and kept going. So I think Jacksonville might be the real Super Bowl contender that nobody's talking about right now.
Thank you, Sam. Always appreciate you. We'll talk to you again next Monday. Thanks for always being here for us. We appreciate you.
Anytime. Take it easy.
Sam Mson, go subscribe. I subscribe to the 33rd team. It's a great podcast. I think you'll like it a lot. So here's what I want to say about the current state of the NFL, coming off what we just watched this weekend. I've told you, I think I'm a leader when it comes to NBA load management. When it comes to NBA load management, I was one of the first guys to see it when it happened. I saw it coming. I told everybody about it, and it was bad. And now we're at a point where we have NFL load management, and I hate it. So again, I want to make this clear. When we look at load management, it has now attacked the NFL. What is load management? It's quite simply this. If you're eliminated from the playoffs, you don't play your starters. This is a topic for every team. Okay, I'm broadcasting. I'm not narrowcasting. So what's going to happen, because it's here and it's not going anywhere, going forward, if your team is out of it, you got a 2-win team, 3-win team, 4-win team, 5-win team. You are eliminated from playoff contention. You're not going to do it with 4 weeks to go. You're not going to do it with 3 weeks to go. But when you get in that window of 2 games, the last 2, you are going to sit your starters. You're going to sit the players who are more important than others. Yes, this is a popularity contest, and it is now taken over the NFL. So I don't care if you're Andy Reid, if you're Dan Campbell, if you're Pete Carroll, whoever you are going to sit down with your GM and say, Who can we not afford to lose for next year? Who, if they blow out their knee or tear their ACL, we're not going to have them next year to start the season in September? Get them off the field. That's the definition of load management. It's load management. We're taking the load off. We're not playing the player. We're managing his time off. Here it is. Something that pains me to say. Didn't think we'd see it. Now I'm living it. We're living it. So didn't think it was going to come. I thought that the NBA would scare the NFL away because the NBA is getting blowback on load management. Steph Curry load manages. Tim Duncan did. Kawhi Leonard is the king of load management. And in the NFL, you're going to see it. Are you nuts to put Joe Burrow out there in week 17 and 18 after all the injuries he sustained? You're going to make Joe Burrow go out there again and some bum on the offensive line not pick up a block and Joe Burrow's knee collapses? Get him off the field. Get him out. It's going to be bad. It's going to hurt gamblers. It's going to hurt the league. It's going to hurt fantasy football, but it's here to stay. So I just want to remind you heard it from me first. Load management in the NFL has arrived, and it's here to stay. And if the best coaches can do it, all the coaches will do it. And then the league's going to have to figure out a way to incentivize the players. Weekend. I like that. I want you to hear it. We put a little bit of sound into it. That's coming up also.
Good morning, Theo.
Thanks, everyone. I'm out of here. I will talk to you tomorrow. We'll have a full show tomorrow, full 2-hour stream. And then we'll stream somewhere, maybe New Year's Eve for an hour. We'll do something so I can thank everybody in person. Have a great day, everybody. Mad Dog Sports Radio a little bit earlier tonight, 6 to 10 Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, Sirius XM Channel 82.